Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Mark Carney.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Sean. Thank you, Stephanie, Constantine, Bloomberg.
In 2018, Mark Carney, who at the time was running the Bank of England, gave a speech about the future of money.
Specifically, how developments in money and payments technologies could transform our economy in ways both good and bad, and how, for the good of the people of the UK, the Bank of England is helping to manage the potential risks and to realize the promise of the future of money.
Mr. Carney talks about the history of money in the City of London, and the speech doesn't start that exciting.
In addition, there's unease that the combination of these vulnerabilities and widening retail participation could damage the reputations of those financial institutions connected to crypto asset markets, and in extreme circumstances, even undermine confidence in the financial system itself. So authorities need to make some decisions. They need to decide whether to isolate, to regulate, or to integrate crypto assets into the financial system.
Mr. Carney mentioned lots of different types of risks associated with cryptocurrencies, but he left one out. He didn't mention how the authorities are going to deal with them. You are seeing Beyond the Binary. I'm Alex Moldovan, and in this episode I'm exploring the future of money. I will look at how the decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies challenge banking systems and the way they operate.
Banks are worried that Bitcoin is becoming unstoppable, so they feel like they've got no choice. It was the last thing in the world. The banks refused to listen to Bitcoin.
And I will go deeper to find out how financial institutions responded to the rise of cryptocurrencies.
Banks are moving in and just changing ties and becoming crypto banks.
Be very careful about those new blockchain companies that are just kind of new crypto banks. They're just kind of like Wall Street banks, they're just on the blockchain.
And I will ask, what are the main arguments made by Bitcoin proponents in favor of these technologies? And what about the stability of the global financial system?
Now we are dealing with a much worse situation because we have the energy, we have the real estate, and we also have the interest rate, which is affecting the cost of living. So there's a lot of factors coming into play right now.
Now I work in child protection and vulnerable adults with the most vulnerable members of our community, and I love my job. However, if the rate of interest goes up and I can't pay my mortgage and I can't pay the fuel, I'm not going to be able to continue to come to work. I went to see an accountant and the advice was, leave the police, work for 22 hours a week and claim benefits and you will be better off. How can that be right?
Also raising the interest rates and in an attempt to combat inflation and bring it down as well, because we had 2 negative trimesters, so there was no economic growth. They didn't want to accept the reality and the fact that we are in a recession right now and the economy has been affected.
And that's basically cheated the average person away from the opportunity to participate, right? So crypto basically starts a new system. It says, we're not going to fix the old system. We're just going to start a new system in which the rules are going to be equal for everybody, right? I mean, what's so special about crypto? Any person can come in, create a protocol, create an idea, and if it's the right idea, everybody else can participate and benefit from it, and the best ideas win.
As a response after a long period of neglect on social inequality, the technology behind Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies offer a new value proposition where anyone can participate regardless of their background or financial situation.
So a definition of what DeFi is up here. It's like an ecosystem of peer-to-peer financial services, and it's on the public blockchain. The idea is that we're trying to mirror the traditional finance system, the TradFi system, and take what you can do in TradFi and bring it onto the blockchain. So anything that you can do in your bank, we want you to be able to do on the blockchain in this Web3 environment.
I would like to lean the discussion towards the future of crypto. What is Web 3.0 and why it is considered to be the future of crypto?
If you compare with the Web 1 experience, the Web 2 to Web 3, you can tell how we evolve and improve and getting better. So if you think about your Web 1, where people download information. So I want to look at the weather. Here's the weather informations. Web 2 is getting a bit more interactive. So I want a music, I want a movie, I want a physical good, I want services. You go there, you buy it, and then you get downloaded into your personal place to consume. Web 3 is even more integrated. So you might be going into the social media posts, and you like something, you post the photos, like Facebook, right? And they will say, oh, by putting a like or posting a post, I'm going to give you credits. And that credit in form of cryptocurrency can use it to buy something in your metaverse, or you can use it to buy physical good from Facebook or Amazon.
So yeah, earning interest, this is a pretty basic aspect. You can go into your bank and maybe they're offering, I don't know what it is, like 0.something% on your current account savings. So you get these very low rates, whereas in DeFi, you get orders of magnitude higher. So a lot of people, they'll be parking their money in stable coins, effectively pegged to the fiat coin, but earning interest, in the region of like 5 to 10%, sometimes even higher. So significantly better than the interest you'll get on your bank.
If you have an account with a bank, you are pretty used with the crucial aspect of trust. But if you switched to crypto, the concept of trust takes on a whole new level. The blockchain is essentially a database that stores lines of code.
I think one key thing is you almost want to look at the attitude of the devs. So there's a lot of anon teams these days, but you still can kind of get an idea of their online persona and just see, okay, do they care about code quality? Do they care about the community they're building and stuff like that? Because one of the things you really need to trust that won't happen is that the devs behind the code won't rug you themselves, right? So that means maybe the devs build in a bug to the code directly that they know about and they exploit later to steal all the funds that people move into the code.
Be very careful about those new blockchain companies that are just kind of new crypto banks. They're just kind of like Wall Street banks, they're just on the blockchain, right? So be careful of anyone who kind of keeps your private keys, that sells you additional services, which might be good for you, but be aware of, it's all about holding your private keys. It's all about like a real true ownership. So it's good that we have this whole industry moving into crypto, and Revolut helping us with buying crypto, and like Ledger helping us to secure this. But some of these tools are truly enabling. Some are just kind of like trying to make money off this industry.
Celsius does is really we invented this idea that you can earn money on your money, right? That you can earn yield.
New York's Attorney General is suing the founder of the now bankrupt crypto platform Celsius Network. The AG's office claims Alex Mashinsky engaged in a, quote, scheme to defraud hundreds of thousands of investors.
Bucked by Celsius last week, and they're filing for bankruptcy.
So Celsius is a centralized lending service. Essentially, it operates very much like a traditional bank, where users can deposit their cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum and earn yields.
Stable coins than the money you borrow. Let's say you have $10,000 in total, right? And you're earning money on $10,000 and you borrowed $5,000. Do you earn enough to pay the bill, to pay the interest on the credit card? Hear you. Yes, sure.
6.2%. 6.2% dividend. Because we earn yield.
How do you earn yield on Bitcoin? What do you do to generate income on that Bitcoin?
I'm happy to spend an hour with you.
Yeah, you're trading it. You got to be taking tremendous amount of risk. The Bitcoin itself doesn't generate any yield.
That's only possible when on the back end, Celsius is reinvesting their customers' funds into even riskier protocols, which we now know was exactly the case, specifically these high-risk DeFi protocols, which offered, in some cases, up to 18 to 20% yield. So they were doing stuff that traditional banks are not allowed to do, very poor risk management. And when you had just one issue happen with some of these more high-risk DeFi protocols, it created this contagion event where they eventually had to halt withdrawals, and so users could no longer withdraw their currencies.
There is a lot of noise right now in the space, and that's always going to be the case in such a nascent industry. And there's a lot of confusion, but ultimately, people are going to figure out what is actually real and what's not. For me, that became, after looking at all different platforms, looking at all different coins, I came to the conclusion that Bitcoin is where most of us should be focusing our attention.
It's all about decentralization, so it's taking control away from some central authorities who will control your finances and then giving that control back to the people on the edge. And it's not just financial products we're talking about there, but it also could be data as well. So your personal data, that at the moment large companies may get hold of that and be selling that. Decentralization could allow you to have much more control over that.
If you think about the integrations, Facebook can have a complete control of all the product and services they provide to you. They don't have to rely on US dollars, UK pound, any other currency. They can do it in themselves. And that gives big corporations a lot of power that they do not rely on the government. And that's why one of the biggest leapfrogging in terms of technology is allowing companies have more control, more integrations on the service they provide.
As I'm continuing my research journey, I'm thrilled to attend a seminar featuring one of the most respected voices in the crypto space, Danny Brewster. I'm excited to see how this seminar will help me complete the puzzle in my understanding of cryptocurrencies.
And then there's the big elephant in the room. There's a bug in Bitcoin which is going to kill it. We've got about 93 years to fix it. And again, I think it's because Satoshi screwed up. But it requires a hard fork to fix it. And the word hard fork can trigger PTSD in people that was around in 2015. And my biggest fear is that people are going to try and squeeze in all sorts of different crap, like surveillance mechanisms, weakening the cryptography behind Bitcoin. Maybe even the eco warriors will try and do something.
Never-ending debate about Bitcoin mining being bad for the environment. I think that's part of what you're thinking. And let me just say, I think the narrative will switch in the next couple of years. At the moment, you still hear politicians say, oh, Bitcoin mining is bad, right? And it's bad for the environment because it does burn up some fossil fuels, which is true. But it's also true that it's already more green and more sustainable than the electric grid in many countries. So you have to be a bit more nuanced. In fact, I would think in the next few years you will see a shift saying that actually Bitcoin mining helps create new solar farms, new wind farms, somewhere where not even people live, where otherwise it would be not possible to create energy.
So Bitcoin sucks. It really does. And I'm sorry to say that. But now we've covered my rantings about how crappy Bitcoin is. It sucks, but nowhere near as much as your shitcoin or your fiat. So Bitcoin isn't perfect, and I think the more people acknowledge this, the more people that don't just blindly follow what some marketer has told them on Twitter about Bitcoin, then I think we can start moving forward, taking solid steps in the right direction when it comes to education and stuff.
Next episode on Beyond the Binary.
The other countries like China, in 2016, they set up a clear pathway.
Dice, sí, estamos bien porque yo no estoy perdiendo, en realidad estoy ganando más de lo que tenía antes con el dólar.
If you don't educate the population to understand the technology, it's hard to accept it because we as a human being, if we don't know something, we don't understand it, we will reject it.